Hello, and welcome to a special episode of Tacoma, Victorian. Today marks 150 years since the Northern Pacific Railway made Tacoma its western terminus. Today's video will cover the history of that decision. The Northern Pacific Railway was established by Congress in 1864, and it would extend from Wisconsin to what became the state of Washington. Job Carr had settled in the Washington Territory that same year after being discharged from the army due to being wounded in the Civil War. A little settlement sprung up around his cabin that would eventually become known as Tacoma, and he speculated the railroad would come through that settlement. The Northern Pacific Railway had expanded into the Washington Territory, and on July 14, 1873, they decided to make Tacoma its western terminus. Tacoma's story would be forever linked to the railroad from that day on. The Northern Pacific Railway started to build the railroad through the settlement, and the first trains arrived in November that same year. As the decade rolled on, Tacoma began to grow as people from around the country decided to settle in Tacoma and make their fortune in the railroad. By 1889, Tacoma's population had exploded to 36,000. The Northern Pacific Railway began constructing its headquarters building in 1887, and it was completed in 1888. Its train yards were built not far from it. Tacoma's population would only continue to grow. In 1871, its population was only 73. By 1893, it was over 36,000. The Northern Pacific Railway connected its train tracks to the port of Tacoma shortly after arriving. To this day, Tacoma is still a bustling port city, and the trains remain a vital part of its economy. Tacoma is one of, if not the only municipalities where train tracks are part of its public utilities.